What's going on, guys? It's your boy Scrub here, back again with another video. Hope you guys are having a great day. I know I am. If you are, be sure to press the like button. Otherwise, no joke, no scam. The peanut butter baby from Vine will come back and challenge you to a boxing match and absolutely destroy you in front of everybody. Real talk though, I'm still on vacation in California. Made this video ahead of schedule for you guys to enjoy, and it's gonna be about this girl that I went to school with that low-key started a revolution in middle school for a week. Just your typical run-of-the-mill stuff, you know? Just a little bit psychotic, definitely something that everybody that got involved in looked back on and regretted doing, but regardless, it should be pretty entertaining for you guys, and that's what we're gonna be talking about today. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So back in 7th grade, I was taking a geography class because apparently it's very important that I know where stuff is on a map. And in this geography class, we talked about a lot of real countries, you know, places that actually exist, things that are real. The Berlin Wall, Germany, Russia, and parts of Scandinavia. Other parts we know are obviously fake because there's no way any place is as perfect as Finland. But, you know, for the most part, you kind of just vibed out and learned where everything was. But there was this girl in my class that was convinced that she had some heritage from a different place, you know? We had to do this project for geography where we did a little bit of our family history and studied what country we were from, you know. My grandma's from Germany, so I did Germany. A lot of kids did Italy, you know, Mexico, Brazil, that whole thing. But this girl who definitely was a little bit on the weirder side gets up and starts doing her project on, no joke, Atlantis, all right? I guess this girl had watched some show about how Atlantis used to be a place in Greece and how her family was for Greece, but she was tall, which meant she had a little bit of the elvish DNA from Atlantis, because apparently the people from Atlantis in this girl's world not only were magic creatures that had super advanced technology and were wiped out by a tsunami, but on top of that were apparently elves, you know? She just started throwing in Lord of the Rings lore. So she does an entire project about how she's from Atlantis and has all these special powers, you know? She can talk to fish, she can do all of this, and obviously our teacher is like, yeah, you're full of it. But I'm not gonna lie, the girl sounds convincing. You know when somebody just talks with so much confidence that you believe it, alright? I guess this girl was so mentally unstable that even her being like, yes, I come from Atlantis and I don't make any sense, you know, just absolutely making no sense, for whatever reason, resonated with a little bit of the weird kids, you know, super vibe with them, because the confidence that she had, even though our teacher called her out for being insane and saying that there's no actual proof that Atlantis existed, you know, started to believe her, okay? And there were a bunch of people that started to think that she was actually from Atlantis, and she got this group of weird kids, the kids that usually eat lunch alone or bark at other kids, you know, that group of kids. Everybody knows who I'm talking about, all right? I don't need to name them, but one kid at your school definitely popped into your head, and we're not gonna mention names because that would be a little bit rude. Kevin, I'm thinking about you. And after a couple days of these kids listening to her for whatever reason, they become fully convinced that this chick is from Atlantis, and they start doing anything that she would tell them to do, bro. It was only a group of 5 kids, but in lunchroom and in classrooms, they're talking to each other in what sounds like dolphin. She had convinced them that they could communicate to each other supersonically by making the ee, you know when SpongeBob says naughty words, that episode of SpongeBob where he just, really gets naughty on him, you know? She has this group of 5 kids walking around the school speaking to each other in dolphin, and it starts to spread out of just our geography class, and I'm not even kidding you. She has a group at the end of the week of maybe 15 kids that are walking around speaking to each other in dolphin and believing that they are literally being led by somebody from Atlantis. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, guys, but Atlantis actually is not real. Yes, I know I might be breaking some of your hearts. Some of you may be very angry at the fact that I am dropping truth bombs out here, but weird girls that used to pretend to be cats definitely don't suddenly come from a magical place where they get magic elf powers, alright? As cool as that would be, we are not living in a Percy Jackson book. It's just not something that happens. And I guess just having control over these kids wasn't enough. I'm not a weird kid for the most part, but all I'm saying is if I had a group of 15 people that I had convinced to speak in dolphin tongue in school in front of other people, and they would do anything I said, I would not mess it up, alright? I would not push for any more power. I'd just be vibing and have my army. Low-key, an army of 15 people is pretty impressive. You can do some pretty cool things if you have 15 people that are convinced that you're a demigod who can speak to fish. That's pretty dope. But for whatever reason, this girl decides that that's not enough, you know? Just having the power over these kids thinking you're a god is not enough. Like I said, I would take it. That's pretty impressive. Do you know how much less homework I would have had to do in high school if I had 15 people that I convinced to, you know, speak in fish tongues to do it for me? All right, now that I'm thinking about it, people that are dumb enough to be convinced to speak in dolphin tongue in school probably aren't the type of people that you want doing your homework. Like, that might be a little bit of a conflict of interest because they're definitely not the sharpest tools in the shed if they're walking around thinking that they can talk to fish. But whatever. She decides that it's not enough to just have the power over these kids. She needs to do something with the power. No, make a statement. Let everybody know she means business. And I guess something that people from Atlantis apparently do is hate when people eat fish. Yeah, that's right. That's where they're drawing the line. Polluting the ocean, a garbage patch the size of Texas? Nah. Nobody from Atlantis bats an eye. A school cafeteria in the middle of Las Vegas feeds their kid fish sticks? That's where we cross the line. So she decides, whoa, I just burped and talked at the same time. That was like a superpower. I understand how Peter Parker felt when he became Spider-Man now. Anyways, she decides that she's gonna change the world and protest the lunch ladies that definitely have no control over the menu giving us fish sticks, alright? So her and her crew of like 15 weirdos that are speaking in dolphin tongue come into the cafeteria and like grab the microphone out of this lady's hands. We had this lady who, bless her soul, was supposed to be like the security guard of the lunchroom, but she was 5'4" and like definitely not strong enough to fight back anyone trying to take anything out of her hands. So they grab the microphone and they start being like, every day we kill so many fish, and every day these fish just ask one question: why can't we be friends? So I ask you, people of this society, why can't we be friends with the fish? And the answer is, the fish aren't saying anything, all right? They're just not. I'm sorry. I hate to break your hearts. The fish are going glub, glub. They're not talking, okay? And even if fish could talk, I don't really care what fish have to say because they don't have opposable thumbs, and everyone knows if they don't have opposable thumbs, they don't get to have an opinion, all right? It's what keeps things civilized. So obviously, you know, they're like, if you are against eating fish, stand with us in solidarity. And then all 15 of these kids start like chirping randomly in dolphin. I don't know if chirping is the word, but I'm gonna call it chirping just because I really don't know what else you would call the noise. Like, I can't do it, dude. I'm sorry. I think I'm too far into puberty, you know. I'm too far past it. It's over for me now. I think my ages of being able to make dolphin noises is done. They pull out these giant, like, foam kois. I don't even know where you would buy foam kois. Maybe you have to put in a special order on Amazon. But they each have a foam koi, and they're like, these foam kois represent solidarity between man and water creature? Like, a water creature. All right, water creature, you know? Sea lions, fish, tuna, we're all throwing them in one category. They're all the same thing. So the dean finally gets the microphone back, and he's telling everybody to calm down. And I guess this causes Fish Girl, you know, the one apparently from Atlantis, to have a conniption. And what does she do as a normal person holding this foam koi? She just starts ripping into it like her teeth. With her teeth, like a golden retriever, ferociously biting into a tennis ball, dude. This like 13-year-old girl is just ripping into this foam koi, like flinging it with her mouth. I'm not even kidding. She had her teeth sunk into it and is just viciously whipping her head back and forth. Like, you know when alligators do that thing when they're hunting where they grab it and start spinning? She's doing that with this foam koi, and she just starts screaming about how, like, society needs to respect fish and is just going unhinged. And even the weirdo kids that had somehow, for whatever reason, become convinced that this chick can actually talk to fish, even start looking at her like, is this lady okay? Because she is acting what we call extremely mentally unhinged, because that's exactly what you are. If you are delusional enough to think you're an elf from Atlantis, you're probably one step away from a mental breakdown. And I guess the dean kind of being like, calm down, we're not gonna sacrifice everything to the ocean gods, was enough for her to have a conniption. So she's freaking out and destroying this foam koi. The people that are listening to her are low-key realizing that their leader might have some mental instability. So she ended up going to the nurse's office and going home. She came back to school the next day and was trying to act like nothing happened, but it really wasn't the same after that, okay? All the kids kind of realized how bat crap and insane it is to believe that this girl was from Atlantis and can, like, talk to fish. I really feel like if Aquaman was a real person, if you could swim forever and talk to fish, you would not be chilling in your normal middle school lunchroom just vibing out trying to start a cult. But hey, all things considered, it was a solid attempt at launching a cult. You should have just taken your 15 fish people, made them do your homework for the rest of high school, and coasted into adulthood with an army of people that are blindly loyal to you. That would have been way better. But no, instead Fish Girl had to go insane in the lunchroom and just absolutely blow it, you know? She ended up becoming one of those weird cat girls that would, like, meow at people and scratch at people later in high school, so the apple really doesn't fall far from the tree. Whatever is loose in that girl's head makes her think she can talk to animals, apparently. But on that note, guys, that's gonna do it for the video. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to press the like button. Let me know in the comment section down below what you thought, and be sure to subscribe and turn on those notifications. If you turn on notifications, I shout somebody out every day with a notification shout out. Today's notification shout out goes to Eat My Churros. Big thank you for having on notifications. I do really appreciate it. If you really want to support the channel, be sure to check out the Teespring store down below. YouTube is, you know, throttling the views pretty hard. Stuff hasn't been going too great, so if you could share this with a friend, like I said, I would really appreciate it. But on that note, don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot. I'm gonna go back to enjoying some Southern California weather. Thank you so much for making my dreams come true. I appreciate you, and follow me on Twitter at Scrubby_69. I'll see you guys tomorrow with another video. I'm out. Peace.